"Oh, we're tattooing eyebrows on your face today." And I said, "Okay, all right," because I'm someone who usually sits in a professional's chair and says, "Do whatever you think is best." Don't recommend that for eyebrows or tattoos in general. Hey there, my name's Leslie. I'm not a vlogger. I don't have a channel. I'm not making a million videos on YouTube. I'm just here to talk to you today about my eyebrow journey. So how did I end up with microbladed eyebrows, being someone that normally does not do beauty treatments or procedures? Well, it all starts with my mom. She got her eyebrows done in 2017 when microblading was brand new. They looked awesome, and she said, "Why don't you try this? You know, your eyebrows are light and thin, and it'll just be one less step for you in the morning to have them colored in." So she got me a gift card, and in early 2018, in March, I went to the same place she did, which is a highly reputable, highly recommended, very expensive and good at what she does artist in Newport Beach. I'm not gonna name her today. And I went and got it done. So after that initial treatment, they were super dark. And then she told me that in 6 weeks, I would come back for a final touch-up just to fill everything in. And after that appointment, they were so dark, and I did not know what to think. She did tell me that after a year, I would need to come back for a fill because the color would fade. After the 6-week appointment, they slowly kind of started to fade a little bit, but I was left with these big, blocky, thick, dark eyebrows that were pretty, but the problem was they were trendy for 2018. And when it comes to tattoos and trends, yeah, they don't usually mix. So I definitely don't recommend tattooing a trendy eyebrow on your face. That doesn't work. So that brings me to when I really started to hate my brows. About 3 years after I initially got them done, and I realized I still did not need a fill because they were just as dark and filled in as they were to start. I thought, okay, I don't like these. I don't like the way they look. I don't like how when I have no makeup on, I have these huge, you know, red carpet ready eyebrows. It just doesn't look right. I don't like it. And other people complimented me on them all the time, but it didn't feel like me. I didn't like the look. So I started to research how to get them removed. And that's where I got stuck. So at this time, at the end of 2019, I'm scouring YouTube. I'm trying to look online everywhere for articles from doctors or some reputable source that says how to get this stuff removed. And there's just so little information. There's nothing out there. And I was starting from scratch. So I decided the best course of action would be to start with a permanent makeup artist who also removes tattoos. I went to a lady in Mission Viejo who's a permanent makeup artist. I will not be naming her today. And she performed on me, after explaining just for a couple minutes, the Rejuvi tattoo removal on my face. Super painful tattoo removal where she had to, you know, with the tattoo gun, put in the removal solution and go over my eyebrows 3 different times to strip the ink. And it was horribly painful. I was crying, I was bleeding. On my way home, I was dabbing at my eyes because they were dripping blood and tears, and oh my gosh, it was just the most horrible experience. I would never, ever recommend anyone doing that on their face. It might work well for tattoos on other parts of the body, but this was horrible. And I remember sitting in my car and she told me I would need to come back 4 or 5 times, and I was like, no, I am never doing that ever again. That is the worst. I will live with horrible eyebrows sooner than I will return to that lady's office. That's when I decided that I needed a new course of action. So a few months later, I did what I should have done from the very beginning and reached out to a dermatologist. I had a video consultation with her. I showed her the situation and she said, "You are a great candidate for the PICO laser." And I said, "What's that?" And she said, "It's a tattoo removal solution. It's a laser, and it just blasts the pigment. It's immediate. There's no scabbing. There's rarely scabbing. And it destroys the pigment. So let's bring you in for a spot test and see if you're a good candidate." So I came in for a free spot test. And later in the video, I have all my pictures from this whole process. So if you're over my backstory, you can just fast forward right now to those pictures and check that out. But you'll see the spot test showed up bright red, and it wasn't because it was a wound or because it was an injured area. It's just the red pigment is what's left behind after she zaps the black ink. So right when I saw that result, I thought, yay, I did it. I found the thing that's gonna work for me, and it's the PICO laser. So I did 4 PICO laser treatments to remove all of the pigment from my brows. The first 2 were to remove the black ink pigment that came off first, and the second 2 were to remove the red pigment that was underneath that. It was amazing. It was instant, immediate, no pain, no swelling, the most amazing thing. I wish I did it from the very beginning, but you live and learn, and hopefully because of this YouTube video, you won't make the same mistake. Finally, my advice section, my do's and don'ts. So the first thing is, when you are getting microblading done, make sure you go to a professional who goes really slow with you and walks you through the process. Please bring in pictures of yourself when you've done your own makeup and you like how your brows look. Bring a picture and say, this is how I color in my brows. This is the color I like. This is the shape I like. Please do that. And then when she maps your eyebrows out, double check it with the picture and make sure it looks right. I've helped a few friends since this whole process, and that's my first thing that I recommend, and they've all been happy with their results. And I think it's just because they double checked that what they were getting was what they really wanted. So this is not the time to sit in the professional's chair and say, do whatever you want. That is going to lead you to regret. Okay, the second part is for those of you who are needing to get your microbladed eyebrows removed. Please find a reputable PICO laser certified dermatologist who has removed microbladed eyebrows before. This should be somebody who's very familiar with the process, has done it before, can show you before and after photos of previous clients. My last piece of advice would be, don't wait. If you don't like the shape of your eyebrows, if you don't like how they look, please don't rely on the whole, oh, they'll fade in a year or two. Some people their brows don't fade, and I've learned more about this. I'm going to link an article below that explains that the term semi-permanent is actually really misleading for microbladed eyebrows, because for some people, me included, they are permanent based on your skin, based on the ink pigment. There's a lot of factors, but sometimes these brows are permanent. So please, if you hate your brows, don't wait. Go figure out a way, find a place, find a PICO laser that will remove them, and do it right away. Don't wait. The last section before I show you all my pictures, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of information. The PICO treatments were $300 each. The phone consultation was $150. The Rejuvi removal was $200 a session. Lastly, I did buy a scar removal cream. That's what the dermatologist recommended for my scarred areas from the Rejuvi sessions that I originally did. I had scarring from the scabbing, and so I've been putting this cream on. It's called Strataderm, and it's been amazing. I used to put it on in the dark because I had a raised scab, and after a while I had to start turning on the light because I couldn't feel where to put the cream anymore. The scab was actually, not only was it getting, the red was going away, but it was also getting flatter on my face. And so now it's just a tiny bump. There you have it. This is me. These are my original eyebrows that I color in every single day with pencil, which is not that big of a deal. It's way easier than having constant 24/7 eyebrows. Maybe if you're someone who always has their makeup done or who needs their makeup done every day for work, microblading makes sense for you. But for a stay-at-home mom who often isn't wearing makeup and doesn't need red carpet ready brows, this just didn't make sense for me. And I'm so glad I found a way to remove them. So now it is time to see the journey of the brows. Here we go. So this is day 19 after my removal, and there's pieces literally hanging on for dear life. Everything's coming off pretty much to reveal the pinky red that's left. And I was told not to pick or pull at pieces, but I'm realizing that the scabs are stuck to my eyebrow hairs, so they're like not coming off on their own. And so I am pulling a little bit, which is, can't really tell, but it's like taking a bunch of like all my eyebrow hair out. You can't tell, but this is so gross. But this is the scab coming off, and then there's a bunch of hair coming out of it. So it's taking my eyebrow hairs off. Gross. Gross, but this is the process. So we're doing the 755 nanometer PICO, and I already did a couple spots right here and here, and then we're just going to continue to treat the rest of the dark. You can see that immediate response of the pigment whitening. You feeling okay?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just going right over the bones.
My hand to your way.
Yep. Okay, beautiful. We're gonna lift all this dark pigment, and then there might be some red pigment left, and we'll go back and treat that later. Okay, do the other side.
And go right in the hairs. It can singe the hairs, but it won't cause any permanent hair removal.
That's really cool.
Okay, a couple more and you'll be done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, did it.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, one more I like. Hey, I kept recording just in case. Good job. Okay, cool.
Now you got it. Okay, so here I am in natural light, and I just wanted to show you what's left of my brows. These are my natural brows with no makeup on them. This is what's left. So if I kind of zoom in, you can see this is the area where I scarred. This is the area where my brows were slightly bleached and still kind of are. You can see when I have no makeup on, you can see kind of like the faint red outline of my microblading. So I don't know if you can tell, but same thing on this brow, but this brow just fared better in all categories. It's just, it lightened better, it didn't scar. You can still kind of see right here, this red outline of the blocky microbladed brow. And then again, this is my scarred area right there. But overall, when I don't have makeup on, my brows are light and natural, how they used to be, not big blocky mess. So it really did lighten them. And I'll show you in a second what it looks like when I color them in. Okay, so here's the final result with my brows colored in. You can still see the red a little bit, but if I really want to cover it, I can do foundation. I don't normally do that. So this is it. Back to normal, yay!